Welcome back to Iran Protests Weekly, where we round up the protest rallies of Iran's people against the mullahs regime. We begin this week's program with the courageous strike of truck drivers across Iran. Thursday, May 29th, marked the 8th day of the nationwide truckers' strike, who, despite all the beatings, threats, and measures by the regime's officials, insist on their rightful demands. This nationwide strike has spread to over 140 cities and 30 provinces in Iran. The regime, through prosecutors' offices and security agencies, tried to break the strike with threats, intimidation, fabricating cases, and empty promises, including a promise to set new freight rates by June 9th. However, the firm resolve and determination of the truckers thwarted all these conspiracies. Meanwhile, pickup truck drivers transporting poultry have also joined this strike.
کرایه‌مون هستش، بیمه‌مون هستش، گازایدو هستش، درد ما یکی نیست. همه چی، همه سختی کارو، همه باربریا دارن دلدوزی میکنن. همش باربر یه جاده درستی داریم، یه امکانات رفاهی داریم. همه چیز ضعیف.
ایشان مرغی‌های گلپایگان. به شفا باشه.
In Iraq, drivers displayed their solidarity by parading their trucks in protest.
راهنده‌های عراق
This strike is a symbol of the people's uprising and an echo of the cry for justice from millions of Iranians who are no longer willing to be victims of the mullahs regime's plundering policies.
امروز تاریخ 1/3/1404 اتوبان قدیر یک رو رانندگی میکنیم که هر از گاهی یه دونه کمپرسی رد میشه. هر ماشینی هم که از خالیه داره میره سمت خونه. من خودم خالی دارم میرم به سمت خونه، گیر کرده بودم تو راه، الان دارم به سمت خونه میرم.
در شهر در لحظه‌ای در حال انفجار است. کامیوندارهای در شهر با ندای صدای بوق خود اعتراض خود را به تمام کامیوندارهای استانهای دیگه جواب دادند.
سلام. امروز نگاه بکنم، امروز 5/3/1404 اعتصاب کامیونداران تربت جام. میگن آقای منطقه خراسان اعتصاب نمیکنه، از منطقه خراسان همه وایستادن به احترام همکارا.
امروز هم تاریخ 4/3/1404 اعتصاب رانندگان پارکینگ کلیشاده سودرجون بهاران همهشون اعتصاب کردن، خوابیدن.
Last week, bakers in Neyshabour gathered in front of the Bakers' Union, voicing their protest against their declining livelihood situation, increased flour prices, workers' wages, and other ancillary costs. In Mashhad, the savage, repressive police forces raided the bakers' gathering, firing tear gas and using pepper spray to disperse them. However, they faced resistance from the bakers, forcing the police to retreat.
نیروی انتظامی با ما اسپری فلفل گاز اشکاور داره میزنه. همین رو بذارم تو گروه به همه همکارا. اسپری فلفل نگاه، همه همکارا رو زدن. نگاه. احقاق حق کنید. باشه بیاین ما تا شب اینجاییم.
Many other cities across the country witnessed protest gatherings by bakers.
خرداد 404 اعتصاب همکاران نانوایی شاهینشهر در اتحادیه.
اعتراض نانوایان شهرستان بروجرد.
عدالت و برابری باشد شیوه علی. عدالت و برابری باشد شیوه علی. نالینو حیا کن خبازی را رها کن. نالینو حیا کن خبازی را رها کن.
تجمع اعتصاب سراسری نانوایان سنگک بلدری و لباس شهرستان سنندج.
And in the past week, Iran continued to witness the strong and widespread presence of retirees who were crying out for their plundered rights. On Sunday, May 25th, Kermanshah witnessed the presence of retirees who loudly voiced their demands with chants like, "Both the parliament and the government lie to the people," and "Our enemy is right here. They lie saying it's America."
نابود باد بندگی، زنده باد زندگی. نابود باد بندگی، زنده باد زندگی. دشمن ما همینجاست، دروغ میگن آمریکا. دشمن ما همینجاست، دروغ میگن آمریکا. دشمن ما همینجاست، دروغ میگن آمریکا. فریاد فریاد از این همه بیداد. فریاد فریاد از این همه بیداد. فریاد فریاد از این همه بیداد.
On the same day, steel and mining retirees in Isfahan declared their protest against unfulfilled promises, incomplete payments, and blatant injustice in the pension system. Tehran also witnessed a large gathering of steel and mining retirees in front of the regime's parliament on Sunday. They chanted, "Steel worker, shout, cry out for your rights." Retirees in Khuzestan also held a protest gathering in 40°C heat, calling out the regime for destroying their livelihoods. Farmers are also resuming protests in Iran as their empty tables have become even emptier due to water shortages and frequent power outages. In Kazarun, farmers showed their anger and dissatisfaction by gathering in front of the regime's governorate building in the city and blocking the street.
اعتصاب کشاورزان شهرستان کازرون جلوی فرمانداری ویژه.
Avaz also witnessed a large presence of farmers in front of the regime's provincial governorate building on Sunday, May 25th, calling for the regime's incompetent ministers to resign. Wheat farmers in Khuzestan also held a large march on Wednesday, May 28th, protesting the non-payment for wheat delivered to the government. Now, let's look at the headlines of protests by other segments of society in the past week. Applicants of the National Housing Movement, a state-run housing project in Kazvin, demanded their situation be addressed in a large gathering. On Saturday, May 24th, Tehran witnessed a gathering of vehicle pre-purchase voucher holders for state-run vehicle manufacturers who have not received their purchases after 25 months. On Sunday, May 25th, hard-working shoemakers in Tehran gathered to protest a threefold increase in insurance premiums and economic pressure. Female school bus drivers in Karchak held a rally to protest extortion by regime officials demanding commissions. On Monday, May 26th, Shiraz witnessed a protest gathering by hard-working street cleaners who work from 2 a.m. to 4 p.m. cleaning public places. Yet the thieving and plundering regime officials refused to pay their hazard pay and insurance benefits. On Tuesday, May 27th, Tehran saw a gathering of landowners from the Muradabad and Sohanak cooperatives in front of the parliament. These lands were deeded to the people in 1993, but now the corrupt municipality does not allow them to build. Laid-off workers from the Zamzam 3 project of Khuzestan Steel Industries on the 7th day of their protest gathering in the unbearable heat of Khuzestan demanded their rights. Workers at the Southern Shipbuilding Company in Bandar Abbas also went on strike on Tuesday, May 27th, due to 4 months of unpaid wages, and announced they would continue their strike until their demands are met. Dear viewers, we have reached the end of Iran Protests Weekly. Hoping that in this program we have been able to reflect the voice of protests from various segments of our homeland, we conclude the program. Until next time.
Follow the People's Mujahideen Organization of Iran on YouTube, Facebook, X, and our website.